Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome back to InfiniteRP and episode 6 of the Lost City of Vedranis. I am a professional. Derek is making me laugh by sounding like Jason Momoa seconds before we go live. So we're going to go ahead and see what everybody's been up to, and we're going to start with Derek. I think you need to give us a show of what you were just doing.
I was doing my best impersonation of Jason Momoa, so I am now instated as Skinny Jason Momoa. This is now the new nickname. No, I had been studying the language of the Goliath people, which sounds a little like this: Guli gamatha thata, guli kanakath. My shoulder is at your back. So I was speaking, I guess, Jason Momoa language.
You sounded like that sounded like Dothraki.
It kind of did, actually. It did. Hello, everybody. My name is Derek from atop Derek Mountain, and I am playing Knock, like I have been for the past 3 or 4 weeks. Why am I acting like this is my first day? Because it's not. It's Knock.
It's no.
We're about to go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes, guys. But I'll pass on to the next person.
Oh, Ray, hello. How's your week been?
Oh, hey, hi, hello. I'm Ray. It's been great. Just vibing, doing the damn thing, and now I'm back here, and I'm excited, and I can't wait to see what we have in store for us today.
We're about to do this damn thing. Hell yeah, Justin. How are you? How's your week been?
Hey, it's been okay. It's been all right. It's been up and down. This is something that I've really been looking forward to, so I'm happy that we're here. And I've been practicing the bugbear language, which is just I'm fluent.
I thought what I did. I thought I studied.
I did the book. I read a book. I did book read.
Oh god, I love you guys. Oh man, Isla. Last but not least, how are you? How's your week been? Have you been practicing your Elvish?
I hope so.
No. Or should I say based on the accent? Niet. So yeah, I'll just get away with that. It's just pretty much the trope that I adhere to now. Yeah, no, good past week. Not actually much has happened. Nothing happens ever. Oh god. No, just kind of waiting through Thursday, and gaming and trying to get back into RP, virtual RP, and failing slightly to stick to that kind of schedule. But yeah, that's about it really. Nothing exciting going on here.
Awesome. Well, we're glad everybody is here. I've just been doing my thing. I'm kind of in between jobs, and I've just been role playing a lot. And it's been great. It's been great to be back. So, without further ado, let's just hop right into it, shall we? With a little bit of a recap. Last we left off, you guys had made your way into the dream, a creation of Lord Walden, the leader of these sleeper characters that you guys had come across earlier. You guys are trying to rescue each other, rather, as Nock and Wisp had made their way into the dream first, with Vodder and Kimura following soon after. You guys left Calder to protect your bodies as they lay sleeping in a small hovel. As you guys entered the dream, the group of you found a monastery building type thing that drew you in, as there was some familiar symbology and things of that sort on the exterior and whatnot. As you all entered, each of you saw a different person. Wisp saw a familiar mentor. Nock saw that mentor, as well as one of his chieftains from his Goliath tribe. Vodder found and saw an old priest of Velen, and Kimura found an old officer, the one that trained her and took her in so long ago. But this was the same figure, but all of you saw a different thing, and as you all looked around about the building, it seemed like whatever you wanted to see was there, but it was a conglomeration of everybody's thoughts and visions. Vodder began to question the figure that he was seeing and succeeded in rolling an insight check as well as using the command spell to reveal this figure, dropping the visage of itself and the room that you were in. You learned of this doppelganger that was revealed to be the Dream Tailor. A fight then ensued as you guys were taking on this doppelganger as well as a gibbering mouther. You dispatched of this doppelganger without much trouble and proceeded to fight this gibbering mouther. But Vodder began to notice something wasn't quite right. And as Nock landed some final blows and continued to hack at this dough-like gelatinous creature, Vodder then saw the reality of what they were fighting, which were people, as they had been yelling and screaming in pain and fear. You guys were left to your own devices to deal with this issue, and as you guys turned to leave this room, this chamber you found yourselves in, you guys realized that there are no doors. There is no way out of this room currently, as you guys try to figure out what to do and your next steps. And so that is where we begin tonight, as you guys are stuck in this chamber. What do you guys do?
Well, assess. Nock is going to look down to his arms as well as his body and notice things are going to start to click. Noticing the fact that it's not really dough-like substance on him, but the fragmentation of, I'm guessing, would be an amalgamation of humans. There's a bunch of humans inside this.
There are some humans. There are some elves, dwarves. There's a conglomeration of different people, but they definitely not some weird aberration that you had been fighting.
Nock wants to approach the rest of the group while assessing his arms and hands, but you can see that it's not something of in his face that is of shock or horror or anything else like that. He's just looking at it in the sense of the confusion of the reveal. And I'm gonna walk over to the rest of the group. After picking myself up from the pile.
Right. Nock approaches the rest of the group, and I think for a second, Vodder takes a step back, looking at Nock, and just sort of backs away out of just instinctual fear. And just he's still a little bit shaken up by the whole thing.
Right.
So
and Nock is covered in blood and gore still as he was hacking.
Yeah, it's a regular carry situation up in here.
As everybody kind of steps away from the scene, you see like a little satchel, like a tie bag cloth satchel on Wisp's hip. She'll pull it out, and in it, she'll take out a piece of bat fur and a pinch of coal and put them in her mouth. And as she spits it out, I'll cast darkness on the section of the room where the bodies are, just to hide them out of respect. And then move away from it with the rest of the group on the outskirts of the room. I assume we're all gonna move in that direction.
Okay. You all see as the kind of the smoke that turns into like a dark fog of some sort begins to kind of coalesce around the bodies, obscuring them from view. It does kind of cover a bit of the large brazier or whatever in the center of the room that is providing the light. It does cover that a bit. It doesn't distinguish it or anything, but it does cast a dark shadow across the chamber.
Thank you.
Nock wants to approach the group, and he says, "Who is a conjurer of this madness?"
And Vodder looks down at the doppelganger. Says, "Oh, it wasn't him. If it was this one, it would have ended when he ended." Someone else.
Go ahead.
No, someone else did this.
As they're talking, can I feel around like these parts on the map, like along this edge? Can I start feeling around the wall to see if any inscriptions or any buttons? I'm just trying to look for anything in the walls while this is going on. I'm going to make my way around the whole chamber if possible.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and roll an investigation check for me.
Okay.
First roll of the night.
10.
10. As you're going around feeling, you just feel natural stone in, natural like kind of cracks and crevices that you feel like you'd find. You're not seeing or finding anything that sticks out to you.
Okay.
We need to account for everybody. Is anyone badly hurt?
I could use
yeah.
something for my arm. He just shows the gibbering weird's bite wound on his arm. And
Gibbering bite wound.
The gibbering bite wound. Mr. Nock is also looking pretty beat up as well. Like his armor is very worn, as well as got some scratch marks on him. He's feeling very. You can see the wear of the battle on his person.
Vadra is knocked up pretty bad, too, and so he's knocked up, and so he says, maybe we could rest here and talk about what to do next. Yes, just for a moment.
I agree, and I'm going to move over towards where that Dream Tailor's body is, just like right next to. And does this Dream Tailor have anything on his person, clothing, satchel, anything of that sort, or is he just like a doppelganger with the cloth?
Yeah, so you don't see any anything on him. He is just a completely skin figure. He's not wearing anything. You do obviously notice one of his eyes is missing, as Vadra had taken it out. So there's a little bit of blood kind of, and a little bit of sinew or whatever, just kind of
Vadra is
pulling those face.
Vadra is rolling this orb sort of around in his hand, not in a creepy way, but just in a sort of a macabre, unsettled way.
Nock is going to grab the hand of the doppelganger, and with a knife, he's just gonna cut the hand off as one of his trophies.
Okay.
Keep that along with him, and I'm gonna put my eyes. If I'm looking over here to the left, is there? That's a stairwell, yes.
So you see what would look like some stairs and whatnot, but they kind of almost form an illusion where they're not actually going anywhere. You can just circle around the stairs and not go up or down.
Okay, all right. I was about to throw the freaking Dream Tailor down there, to be honest with you.
Toss him on the brazier.
True. Yeah. So I'm gonna cut off his hand, and I'm gonna tie that around my my waist, and I'm going to sit next to Vadra, and ask him for a potion. So you got one of those vials.
Yeah.
Potion. I'll take
Here. And he hands it over.
Okay.
Bottle of red liquid, and Vadra is just sort of bandaging up his wounds. So, looking for a short rest here to just sort of...
Yes.
Okay. I will also, I think Nock, and anybody else who's below half HP, I think Nock, you're below half HP. You can still drink a potion and heal with that, but to heal naturally, so if you want to use any hit die, if you guys are planning on taking a short rest, you will need to expend some bandages and whatnot, because you are pretty beat up. And as you're kind of looking at your wounds, what at one point looked like these very sharp teeth marks and things like that, they're humanoid bite marks and faint scratches and whatnot, as kind of the illusion or visage or whatever it is that you guys had been seeing dropped. The wounds also reflect that, so you don't see any more gibbering mouther wounds, but more wounds of frantic people who were attacking you.
Okay. Jesus.
It's
Oh
people
my God.
wounds.
Yeah, it's people wounds. This is definitely also something that Nock is unfamiliar with as he looks down at his wounds, because he's more used to fighting larger beasts, larger creatures, claws, teeth, fangs, if you would. So there's immediate displeasure to what he is seeing, but at the exact same time, it's still something that he is just used to: battle wounds, bites, scars,
Do
war
you
stories.
need the bandage?
I am fine. I'll wear these proudly.
Don't be stupid.
Stupid.
He says, trying to conjure his best Kimura.
Oh yes.
Don't be stupid.
Nock looks really stern and looks at him and says, "Stupid. I find your prayers to be stupid. These are just as important to me as your stupid words."
So he pulls the bandage back. The bandage he had offered, just sort of takes it back, and he stands up, and I think actually what he's going to do is he's going to take that eye and he's going to walk over to Kimura and say, "Here," and like put it in her hand. And say, "Something about this. It's got some sort of power. Real power." And when he says real power, he looks back at Nock.
And what do you suppose this power is?
I'd have to spend time with it, but maybe you can, while we rest, sit with it and see what you can learn.
Stare lovingly into it?
Just study it. It's... Can't you feel that? And he takes it and he puts it in her hand with his big old bugbear hands, and just sort of like closes her hand around it.
Okay. Kimura, as you take the eye in your hand, the revelation of what this thing is becomes relevant to you in one way. So I'll kind of just read the lore bit. I'll actually display it in Roll20, so I think everybody can see if we transfer over to that. It should pull up. It's a long thing, so I'll just read it. So the Dream Tailor's eye comes from the doppelganger of the same name. One of Lord Walden's closest subjects, the Dream Tailor helps impose the Curator's will within the dream. Everyone sees a different personage when they meet the Dream Tailor. The extent of his powers are unknown to most, and his deception runs deep within the dream. This milky white eye is still covered in blood and sinew, as it was torn from the doppelganger known only as the Dream Tailor. This eye is unblinking, but when held, appears to be looking for something. So as you're holding it, you can almost feel like it's moving or twitching in a way, and you can tell that there is something to it. It is obviously the doppelganger is somewhat of an inherently magical creature, and you can feel that magic while you're holding it. You think if you spend more time with it, you might be able to glean more information or something like that.
This is unsettling. But
Mm-hmm.
fine. I will babysit the eye.
While this is going on, for the short rest, Wisp is going to find a dark corner, kind of like not super hidden away, just a dark, quiet corner. She's going to take her staff out and just kind of like feel the shadow radiate off of it. And she's going to meditate so that during a short rest, I get my key points back. So she's just going to sit and kind of meditate on everything that's been going on. She's going to ask herself kind of the question about what happened with Greta and just kind of meditate on that. She's going to talk to her shadow self about the creature and basically realize that and come to a consensus within herself that this is just a job. It's just another job, and they got in the way of doing the job. And as unfortunate as it is, there's nothing that can be done now. So they just have to keep going, keep moving forward. And yeah, she's going to regain her key points in this time as everybody else is doing their stuff. She's kind of just in this meditative state.
Right. So is everybody gonna take a long rest then?
Short.
Yes.
Okay.
Short.
Short rest. Sorry, short rest.
Yeah.
So, Knock, you didn't get a bandage, right?
No, I did not. I just went with the health potion, something to slam in his face.
Okay. So yeah, you can't. As you take a short rest, you can regain like your rage and thing like that, or anything you gain, but you won't be able to spend hit dice to heal because you would need to bandage first. Unless, what's your HP at now after the potion?
After the potion, I have not rolled for the potion yet, but I shall now.
Okay. Yes.
At least 6.
6. Okay. So what would your HP?
My HP would be at 13 right now.
13 out of
32.
32.
Mm.
Okay, so you're still not quite at so bloodied. So you're bloodied essentially. You have the bloodied state, which is half HP. So you would need bandages and whatnot. So like if you have anything that you think you could tear off and like create bandages, if you can't convince Vaughter to give them to you, you won't be able to roll your hit die.
I will shamefully as I look at my bite wounds from the little 3-year-old that I cleaved in half. It's a little that toddler's bite's a little more gaping than I thought I would be more comfortable with. So Nock is going to look at it and say, "Hey, Vaughter, that bandage.
What?
I'll take it."
Hmm.
And Nock sits back up, kind of rolls over onto standing up, and just kind of reaches out, taking a few steps over to Vaughter with his hand out.
I throw a bandage at him.
the bandage lands around my arm and hand.
There.
He just turns and walks off, sits back down with his back facing Vaughter.
Okay. Yeah, so you're able to bandage it up. Just make sure you're marking that on your character sheet, and then you guys can take a short rest.
Can I interject for just a sec?
Absolutely.
As you're sort of tinkering with your hit points, those temporary hit points, any that you still have, last until you take a long rest, or until you use them.
Perfect.
Don't get rid of those.
Awesome. Okay, it's good to know.
So there are multiple things you can do during a short rest. I think this is like one of the first times we've actually really done one. So what you can do is you can recover hit points. Well, let's see. I don't know how many you can do. Let's see, because it's on the we have the different rules for it. So it's about an hour long as usual. Okay, so you can obviously recover hit points, regain your class features, eat and drink, treat wounds, and then you can do like research or investigate, which is, you can do any of those things. Anything more than that, you would have to take like a longer rest, which we wouldn't be able to do because I don't know if you're in a place to be able to do that. So we should be fine. I don't think that's going to, like, those new rules will pertain. Kimura, are you going to spend some time with the eye? Sounds kind of weird to say.
Yeah, I am. Kind of don't have a choice. She's a bit weirded out, but yeah.
Okay. So I will add that to your character sheet, and Doc, you can remove that from your character sheet since you gave it.
Yeah, sorry to ruin your plans of putting it in my inventory.
No, that's completely.
Oh no! Wait,
fine.
are we playing hot potato with it? Do I need to give it to someone else?
Yes,
that's
what we're doing.
I don't want this. I don't want this.
So, as you
would make better use of that than I would.
So what you can do, if you attune to it during this, I think it's a short rest, you can attune to items. As you're kind of, trying to figure out what this eye does, you realize that you can use it to cast some spell, or a spell. You can use it to cast the mirror image spell without expending a spell slot. And you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. And you notice as you're using it, you feel like there's a little bit more power as far as like what this eye can see. So it also grants you true sight up to 5 feet. But you do notice as you are holding it, it starts to feel cold and itchy while you're handling it. As you become more attuned to it, there's something there's something more to it. You're not quite sure what though.
So the eye that I'm holding becomes cold.
And yeah, and itchy, and it's still like it almost feels like it's twitching in your hand. It's like almost uncomfortable to hold. Like it's like almost like you're not supposed to be holding an eye, if that makes sense.
I mean, that's kind of as the rule goes for most eyes. You're really not supposed to be holding them. They're supposed to be in a face or something.
Indeed.
The wisdom of Kimura.
This is not meant to be in my hand.
Eyes belong in faces.
Eyes belong inside the face. Could I decide to wrap it in a bit of cloth? I'm assuming I have some cloth on me. If I don't, then I don't. But and I'm gonna just wrap it gently and put it in one of my pouches, one of my bandolier pouches.
Okay.
Because I've decided I don't want to just hold it.
Okay.
It's kind of icky.
Why would
It's
you?
icky.
Who'd want
Yeah.
to hold this thing?
Ew.
Quick question, Isla.
Yes.
I'm just curious. It says you have 63 hit points.
63. Yeah, I've got 63 hit points.
Well, congrats.
Yeah, thank you. I'm party tank.
What is knock? What is anything anymore? I thought I had a roll. I'm here to fill in shoes.
You are the weakest link.
Goodbye. Okay, so my HP is 28 with a temporary of 35 currently.
Why is your? I don't think you should have that much temp. Have you? Should you?
Temp is 7. We got 7 on temp.
Right, but it says you have 35 temp.
35 temp, as in like once you add the temp to my max, I have 35. That's how I.
Oh, okay. So you can actually just put 7 in the
7,
temp, and it will
and then just
like it'll track properly. Yeah,
Cool.
because essentially it's adding the 35 to your 28, and so it thinks you have 63 HP.
That is what math. There we go. I can math. Math.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I just noticed. I'm like, damn, I didn't realize that. But okay, perfect. Okay, so you guys are left to your own devices for an hour or so, as you kind of just try to figure out what you're doing.
Roll the hit die for that, yes. Short rest.
Yeah, so you can now roll your hit die.
Did you say that there are stairs?
There are stairs, but they almost form like that optical illusion where they don't actually go anywhere, and so you like walk and you just find yourself almost in the same place.
Disgusting. How could you do this to us? Okay.
I can't believe you've done this.
I can't believe you've done this. I would like to also, amongst obviously attuning with the eye, I would also like to walk around a little bit. And did I notice Wisp was tracing along, looking or feeling? Did Wisp go where the door was before?
I was making my way. I was making my way around the top loop. So I would have gotten as far as I did like on the map, and then I would have probably found a corner, like an alcove right here to do my meditation in between these two columns. And then that's probably where I'd still be if you were looking for me.
I would like to double check where that door was before. And I would like to place my hand against where I think the door was.
Okay.
Or Kimura would like to.
As you place your hand up against it, nothing. It's just a wall.
Okay.
Can I inspect the rest of the room, or just do a perception check to see if there's anything we've missed, like the brazier or any pillars or anything like that?
Sure, absolutely. Go ahead and are you just like checking your general surroundings? Or you
I want to see if
going,
there's anything else that's interesting in here worth investigating. I'm not necessarily looking to investigate. I'm just like, hey, have we looked at this thing yet? You know?
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check.
Sure. A roll that is a critical fail is 1, so 7.
7. It's just a room.
Smoke is in my eyes. Yeah. Can't see anything.
This is of course after our after our short rest, yes.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to stretch and see how everybody else is kind of still moving around trying to find the way out. These torch-like things in the middle of the room. There's 4 of them. Yes.
So those
What-
would be
what are
like
those?
those would be like pillars.
Pillars. How big are those pillars?
Maybe like almost 5 feet in diameter. They're decent.
Can I pick them up?
I mean, they're like attached to the ceiling.
Damn it. Okay. All right. Nock is going to look at the pillar, look around the room as I see some others that are surveying the room and looking around, looking at Wisp, meditating. He's going to see that there's no way out. He's going to grab his axe, stand up on his feet, and walk over to the pillar. And he's going to start swinging his axe at the pillar. See if he can break it.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and just roll and roll an attack.
Yeah, go for it, Samson.
Damn right. Damn right. Great axe roll and take.
21 hits, absolutely. Roll damage real quick. 12.
Top.
All of a sudden, the silence of the room is broken by a loud clanging of metal on stone. You do take a chunk of stone out of this pillar. It's not as easy as cutting wood or flesh, but I mean, you're making it took a sizable chunk out of it for sure.
Making a chunk.
All right. So sizable chunk. I would say like a chunk. I don't know, the size of what Nock's torso would technically be like. So something fairly decently big in size.
Maybe like I'd say like the chunk is like maybe like a quarter of the way through.
Okay.
So it's kind of hard to like, especially with an axe to cut stone. So it's not super easy.
Okay. I'm going to Nock is going to grab the rock and say, "Is there no doors anywhere?" He's just scream this out to everyone.
We need to keep looking there. I mean, there has to be a way out, one way or the other, right?
I would
Right.
suppose so. And I'm going to stand up and continue to work my way around all of this stone to get to like here and try to continue to see if I can find anything in the wall that may be something.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll me another investigation check.
All right. Another 10.
Another 10. There's just nothing on this like
Whoop.
on this interior wall. There's nothing.
Okay.
Can I look at the brazier? Get up and take a look at that. Make sure there's nothing unusual about that.
Yeah, go ahead and roll an investigation check there.
Sure. 4. Anyway,
Back to our shitty rolls. We're back to our
this
shitty rolls.
is where we live now.
This is our home. Yeah, it's just as far as you can tell, it's just a brazier.
Okay.
Can I take the giant rock that I have in my hands? Oh, actually, I have one question. The ceiling. How tall is the ceiling in this in this room?
It appears to be. It's a pretty high domed, I would say. So maybe like 15 feet up.
Can I take my rock and throw it as hard as I can at the ceiling?
Sure.
Nock is going to grab that giant stone and just complete catapult. Just we're getting up there. And he's just gonna throw the damn thing as hard as he can up at the ceiling.
Okay. Yeah. As you do that, go ahead and roll. Just roll a like a d20 plus your dexterity. I don't think you'd use your proficiency bonus because it's kind of like an improvised type thing.
Wow. You know what I just totally did? Went into the chat on Twitch and typed in /roll. Funny. And do you know what it told me? We don't support that command, you idiot.
I love it.
All right. But you said my dexterity, my friend?
Yeah.
That would be a +1, so that would be overall a 17.
A 17?
Yes.
So you kind of almost like put it up, and it does hit the dome, and there's like a...
And it cracks.
The stone that you threw cracks.
Fuck.
And you sit there and stare, and you look at it for a second, and you think you spot a faint bit of light.
Knock is going to point up in there and be like,
Look, I think we just found our way out. We're stuck in this bird cage after all.
How are we going to get up there?
Knock looks over to Kimura.
What do I look like at the airship?
No, but you're light enough to get up there if I threw you up there.
Don't-
You're lighter than the rock.
Nobody is throwing me, okay? And I just start levitating.
Ah!
Oh,
Oh, I forgot she could do that. She could do that.
Of course you forgot. This does not surprise me. I will take a look. Try not to break anything whilst I'm up there.
Well, if she comes down as graceful as she goes up.
I'm gonna follow her up and try to like monkey my way into like some sort of way and kind of like be able to swing up. I want to like swing up and kind of catch onto it.
Okay, so you're gonna like climb like one of the pillars or something
She's
like
gonna
that.
Yeah.
parkour.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
basically like gonna parkour between shit to get up there.
Okay, give me an athletics check. So I don't know if you guys know, but for me, my rules on climbing up and climbing down, athletics is going up, acrobatics is coming down.
Okay. I got an 11.
11. You're making your way. It's not insanely
Making my
difficult
way.
for you. There's a good like bit of handholds, but it's taking you a little bit a second. You're not like Ezio climbing up shit right now, but you're making your way. You're like Ezio in
Okay, I'm
training.
shimmying. I'm
Yeah,
shimmying. I got a good shimmy going on.
yeah. You're like bear
Okay.
hooking it, and like you're making your way up.
Okay.
You haven't unlocked that move yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're at the
it's
beginning
like-
of the game. Yeah.
Yeah.
This
Okay,
episode
got
should have
it,
been
I got it.
titled "Making Your Way,"
Mhm.
making our way.
It's not too
So,
late.
It's not.
Making our way.
So, Kimura, you
Yeah.
do quickly make it to the lower part of the dome where Nock had thrown the stone, and you do see a very small, maybe like a crack in the ceiling, maybe an inch wide, and you can see a little bit of blue sky and a little bit of sunlight peeking through.
And that was just from Nock throwing the rock up there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'd like to literally just kind of put my finger through the hole and just see if I can like pull. Because if he threw a rock,
Mm-hmm.
it's a rock. If you could break a ceiling with a rock,
Justin.
It wasn't me. Isla said I'm gonna put my finger through the hole, and every other cast member started breaking.
No, it was only you.
you are a bunch of cretins. Right,
Yes,
get
yes.
Okay.
your minds out of the gutter.
I'm a mature boy.
Okay,
I am an adult.
I am an adult.
I am grown
Trust
up.
me, trust me. So anyway, I'd like to do that thing that I just specified.
Mhm,
Some
yes,
dog
mhm.
space pause there.
Mm-mm.
And I'd like to kind of hook and yank. Jesus.
Okay, go ahead and roll me an athletics check.
Thank you. I'm gonna roll an athletics check. Apparently. There we go.
So put the load. Yo, hey yo.
Okay, you're able to like. It's tough because it's only like you don't have much strength because it's not like you can fit your whole hand or anything like that because you're only getting like a fingertips grasp.
Yeah.
And so you just don't have enough like strength, and you feel like with a little bit more like leverage or something like that, you might be able to get break the rock a little, or like the stone wall or whatever, a little bit more. But just with the amount, like even with that high of a roll, you're not able to do much. But you with that roll, you do determine that, you know, it is possible.
In that case, I draw a dagger and I wedge the dagger through to use that as a leverage, and then I basically hit down on the pommel to basically kind of like crack it.
Okay.
Sort of thing.
Go ahead and make an attack roll.
With the dagger, yeah?
Yeah.
Awesome. 11.
Go ahead and roll damage. I mean, you are able to get it. I mean, it's a stationary stone ceiling, so
the
not hard
ceiling dodges your attack. Okay.
You're actually not in a building. You're in the belly of a dragon.
Which is in a really big mimic.
Oh God.
Could you imagine?
Again.
You activated my trap card. Roll initiative. I'm just kidding.
Uno reverse card.
Okay. Oh wow.
Okay.
Why?
So you take, like, again, it's a piercing weapon. There's not much give or leeway that you're able to get with a dagger. You're taking like little chips of stone out, but it's not really doing the trick.
Okay, she gets a little bit impatient, puts the dagger back in, and goes, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" And she pulls out the pistol and starts shooting at the ceiling.
Whoa! All of us will go, whoa!
All of a sudden, there's like an echoing of it almost sounds like an explosion, like because in the domed room, and you guys have to like almost cover your ears. And if you're not paying attention, you know, it is a bit of a surprise to you. I guess for the sake of it, just go ahead and roll damage.
Okay.
And about this point, Wisp, you're like up towards the ceiling now.
I'm gonna turn to Knock while they're doing these things, and I'm like,
You don't have like a crowbar or something, do you?
Crowbar.
Yeah, like a long metal bar.
He reaches over.
Sledgehammer.
He's grabbing at his pants and everything else too. He's grabbing at his
it's got a
armor.
loincloth on and nothing else.
He's just like, he's like,
A crowbar. No, I don't have.
know
I
what
don't.
you
I
carry.
don't carry around.
I mean,
that
I've
type
got
of-
some. I've got a penknife. I'm never going to use that.
a penknife.
I just remembered I do actually have a crowbar in my pack.
You're gonna hear as like the ladies are up at the ceiling trying to figure out something, and the men are just sitting there fucking arguing about like what the hell they're gonna do, you know, trying to make this elaborate plan as you realize you have a crowbar.
I also have a hammer.
Backpack. Wouldn't a bar of crows just be not efficient? I'm just
No, I mean, I'm not talking about like it made out of crows. Not like a or I'm not like a tavern for crows. I mean,
right.
like it's a.
I mean, they're thirsty. I mean, they
Like
gotta
that thing
drink.
that Kimura has in her hand.
See, up there. That's what you mean, like what she has.
Right.
No, I don't have one of those.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna try and leverage it with the crowbar.
Okay. I'm trying to think of what role this would be, because it's a tool. So I want to say it'd be strength based. So go ahead, unless you have a better idea. I think an athletics check might.
You got it.
And I think that would probably work.
12.
Okay, so you're starting to, you know, wedge it, and you start to hear some stone move, and there's like a little bit of dust beginning to fall. You think, you know, if you get, you know, one more solid effort in, or you know, something like that, you might be able to.
Okay, I call down and
Make it
basically say, "It's cracking."
Put your weight into it.
I just look down.
Put the whole damn thing down.
You might want to move.
Yeah, I definitely start stepping away from where it is.
Knock also does the same. Just like,
Okay.
Where's
I
Wisp at
pause.
this point?
I try to pause like on the pillar that I'm on.
A gargoyle.
Like, yeah, I'm like, yeah, if I could get to the top. Does the pillar go all the way to the ceiling, or does it
Yeah.
kind of like?
Yep, it's like it's yeah.
I'm like already up here, so I'm just gonna try to hold on tight. I'm gonna bear hug that little bitch, and I'm just gonna hold on.
Okay, Kamara, go ahead and give me one more athletics check, and I'll say with this one you have advantage because you've got you're able to get a good amount of leverage on
awesome.
there.
I'm glad because I need. I'm gonna roll that again. For the advantage. Oh man, it's not happening. It's not happening.
It's just not. Yeah, it's not happening.
Can I lead the crowbar in and then slam a hammer against it?
Sure.
Would that make a difference?
All right. Yeah, can I seeing her struggle, can I also now say fuck this, and as I am, okay, so I'm going to, how far up am I, like from the ground?
You're at the top of the ceiling, pretty much where the pillars meet the ceiling, so it's about 15 feet.
Okay. Okay, so she pulls out, she's gonna hold on, she's like holding on, bear hugging. I'm going to, in my one hand, reach for in my pouch a small leather loop that I have. And as I pull it out, I'm going to push back from the pillar and kind of like push upwards and back. And I'm going to, almost like a lasso, whip the leather loop around and kind of bring it over my body. It kind of grows as I whip it, and I'm going to bring it over my body, and I'll cast levitate on myself. And I will levitate up there. And as soon as I get up there, I want to kind of like levitate up and spider crawl, like Spider Pig, up on like like up on the ceiling. And I want to help her while she's doing this. I want to assist her. And I want to kick with my feet. And I want to help like kick as she's like using her hammer to see if I can get some more leverage on there for her.
Okay. Perfect. So go ahead and you can make that roll again, Kimura, and you again have advantage.
You have advantage.
Got it.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
There it is.
Roll it
Natural
again. See if you
20.
get another one. You have advantage. Roll again.
That was an advantage.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I keep forgetting you can do that.
Yes.
Yeah. Perfect. So you guys kind of work together, and as you know, Kimura's, I guess Wisp would go first. So Wisp, you kind of kick it, the crowbar, and it wedges itself even more right after Kimura hits it with the hammer, and all of a sudden, like one piece of stone goes, like dislodges and falls to the ground, creating a little bit bigger of a hole in the ceiling. Nice. And as you guys are kind of sitting there, you begin to, as you're levitating and flying, there's little bits of dust and stone that begin to hit your face. And there's almost a low rumble as another stone falls. Soon after another stone falls, the entire ceiling begins to cave in. I need you guys to make dexterity saving throws. The entirety of this ceiling is coming down. I will, because Nock and Vauder, you guys are kind of paying attention to this and we're trying to stay out of the way. I will give everybody advantage on this roll because you're also levitating and flying, so you guys are able to dodge this. So everybody make a dexterity saving throw at advantage.
As this is happening, is Wisp within grasp for me?
I'd say she's pretty close unless you've moved.
As it starts caving in, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna basically reach out my hand and tell her to grab it, and then I'm gonna try and navigate upwards instead of having going down where we would go down with the debris. I'm going to try and basically get past that first wave and out so that there's nothing else coming down on us, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And then Nock, roll one more time because you have advantage.
Is that just I'm a newbie. Saving throws, just click on it and then.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay. Boop.
There you go. Okay. So we got a 16, an 18, a 12, and a 19. Everybody is able to dodge it except for Kimura. As you begin flying up, one kind of glances off your shoulder. You take 8 points of bludgeoning damage. Everybody else takes 4 as bits of debris and whatnot fall. You guys are able to like kind of dodge out of the way, and all of a sudden, like, Vodder, you look and you see one and it's about to land on you. You step back and it just like hits the ground and just is obliterated into dust.
Don't forget to use those temp hit points, baby.
Yep. You can mark it from those temp hit points first.
What temp hit points?
Oh no.
Oh no. It's fine. So,
and as you guys, or go ahead, sorry.
Because of the temp, I'm just gonna say that what happened is the bit that glanced off my shoulder actually hit my armored shoulder, because one of my shoulders armored, one of them isn't.
Okay,
so like
absolutely.
it glanced off that one, kind of knocks me off kilter as I'm trying to fly up, or you manage to maintain balance and keep going. So
perfect. All right. And as this is happening, the rumbling continues as the building almost like. A giant piece of stone from the ceiling hits one of the pillars and completely destroys it as the walls also begin to crumble.
I'm going to shout up to my flying friends and say, "We need a rope or something."
I will take out 50 feet of hempen rope that I have and tie it around my waist. And like I'll tie it around my waist, like double knot it, and then wrap the rest of it around my leg as I let it down to like get extra leverage to help pull.
Okay.
And I'll let it dangle, but I want to move myself in the levitate spell to like out. Is everything collapsing, or is there like stable ground? Is there stable ground that I can find?
There's like a little bit, because like it's not all collapsing just like straight down, so like walls are kind of crumbling around, so you'd have to like maneuver onto like another side of the wall before it crumbles to be able to get like a good position. But I'd say you'd probably be able to.
I will try to do that as quick as possible as I am levitating, so kind of like push myself back as I float, and then I want to dispel the levitate and drop down onto a ledge that I can wedge myself into and find some other like rock that they can brace on to maybe like crawl up.
Okay. Absolutely. So you guys do Wisp is able to kind of get in a position and you're dropping the rope.
Yeah.
Okay. And so you're able to kind of hold it and kind of wedge it in between like a pillar that is like kind of collapsed against the wall that hasn't fallen yet, and you're kind of wedging it in between that.
Perfect. And then I'll just hopefully they see me doing that. If not, I will scream as loud as a wisp can scream and just be like, "Get over here now."
I think what we're gonna do here is I want everybody to roll initiative.
As loud as she could scream.
Initiative.
Wisp, come on, control your. I'm gonna cast
calm
I hate
emotions
on
initiative.
Wisp.
Can't spell wisp without wisp.
There's that natural 20, baby.
So how this is gonna work? You're trying to beat the building from collapsing, essentially. The building will go at the top of initiative at 20. So Wisp, you are beating that, so you're good. So I think we got everybody's initiatives in there correctly. So yeah, and essentially I'm gonna give the building is gonna collapse in 3 rounds. So I'll make a note there. So is there anything else you want to do, Wisp, at the moment?
Okay, so then I will also I have 15 extra feet of rope that I bought from that weird random person. That other Genasi that I found. So I'm going to tie that one on top of and to the one attached to my waist, but I'm going to then wrap it around my shoulder and my arm as another one that they can grab once they get close enough, because that's a 15-foot rope.
Right.
So I'm going to cast that down beside the 50-foot. So once they get to a certain point, they have 2 points of contact that they can help leverage point so that it's easier for them to pull up. And I'm basically just finding a corner that I can wedge my body into and brace myself. So I want to like literally put myself in between rocks if possible to like wedge myself.
Absolutely.
To help pull these people up.
Perfect.
Girl, I hope you better be the best anchor in the world, man.
I have no strength, but there's nothing else that I would do. Yeah. But that's what she's thinking. She's like, these are big ass creatures. I really hope I could do something. Let's see, because this is all I've got. This is all she's got.
Okay, perfect. So I would say you're against I'm gonna move your token
go ahead.
to where like you would be, because I think you'd be like up against like this wall right here, because you guys will still have to like use movement to get there and whatnot. So so the building continues to collapse, and let's see. Broader, you see a big chunk of stone come falling down on you. I need you to make another dexterity saving throw.
Okay. An 11.
All right. Unfortunately, as you see Wisp, and then all of a sudden you look up too late and it falls on you. You take 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay. So long. Temporary hit points.
Kimura, it is your turn. You're kind of floating above all this at the moment, and if you can do anything or want to do anything.
How high up am I? Would you say what the roof was? Sorry.
I'd say you're like it's 15 feet, so you're right around there, I'd say.
Okay. And the way the building's collapsing, are the walls collapsing?
Yes.
I'm not strong enough to do that. There's not much I can do. I was gonna drop a rope down. I was gonna find a place to secure a rope to a python and then into the ground. But if the entire building is collapsing, it's not really gonna work logistics-wise. I don't think there's a lot I can do here.
GTFO?
I mean, I'm already above it, so I'm in a safe position. I might be the only person confirmed safe at the moment.
Just sort of floating up there, unaffected.
It's like I have to float and watch everybody die. I mean,
again.
I mean, get out. I mean, I'm gonna monitor the situation from above and see if there is any weak points in the current wall setup that would be easy to push through, so that the party could exit through a crack, if that makes sense, before the rest of the building comes down.
So through a wall instead of up over the ceiling.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
Uh-huh. That's my shit. Or 10? 10?
As you're kind of looking, with all the collapsing, like the ceiling collapsing and the walls beginning to collapse, from your vantage point, it's pretty dusty, so it's actually really hard for you to actually see what's going on down below. So you kind of spend your turn like trying to maneuver through that. You can go down, like kind of below where you are. You might put yourself in like a dangerous position, but you might be able to point something out where you can see a little bit better.
Okay, so I'm going to maneuver into a better position to kind of get the concept of that. The moment I see a weak point, I'm going to call out for knock to basically charge it.
Okay.
Because
perfect.
Me shooting holes into it isn't going to really do anything. I don't have a scatter gun or anything. It's literally just a straight shot piercing kind of bullet sort of thing. So that's only just going to go through. So yeah, the moment I see a weak spot, it's basically knock, charge this position.
Okay, perfect. Is that your turn then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically. Yeah.
Perfect. Vodder, you're up.
I'm gonna jump on that rope and climb like the Dickens.
Okay. So
Like
you
Charles
are 10, 15, 20. You're 25 feet away, so you can get to the rope. And do you have 30 or 35 move?
I have 30 feet of movement.
Okay.
So I can at least get 5 feet up the rope.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. You guys, as you get there, you start climbing. Make an athletics check with advantage as you're kind of climbing to see if you can pull yourself up. Oh yeah, you're fine. So you'd actually be up here where Wisp is because she's the one with the rope.
Show me. Oh right. Okay.
Well, there you go. Okay, and you're about 5 feet up. You've got maybe like 10 feet till you get to where Wisp is.
Nice.
I suppose you could technically dash because you still have a bonus action, I believe.
But if I'm climbing, would that be at half speed?
Yes, I would say it's half speed. So you technically would have
15 more feet.
15 more feet. So you could actually make it to Wisp, I'd say.
Okay, I would do that just to keep the strain off of Wisp for as long as possible.
Okay.
And then because I don't have any more actions, just lay on the point of the rope to give more weight.
Okay.
Just collapse on the rope.
As he comes up and lands on me, I will just say, "Hold me."
Oh, Wisp. Oh. He says,
as
"Okay,
an anchor point. As an anchor point."
Oh, gotcha. Yes, okay. All right. And he wraps absurdly long bugbear arms around her, just like to be an anchor.
Perfect. Alrighty.
I can't hold knock.
All
Help me.
So Kimura she hasn't seen that hole yet, right? She's not put eyes on that.
Not yet.
Okay, I am going to start running towards the rope. So,
okay. So you're about 35 feet away. So what's your speed? I guess 5,
30.
10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay. So you could almost get there if you wanted to dash.
Or can I make just a jump for the rope, like as I'm running, just like throw my ass towards it, or a dash, whatever one would work.
Sure. If you want to jump, if you're successful enough, you might be able to.
I'll do athletics. Yeah, it's athletics. That's what it is.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Unfortunately, as you try to jump, another piece of stone falls and you trip over it and like face plant into the ground.
All you hear is the grunts of just anger and frustration of Nock as he just face plants right in front of it. Nah, that would be the end of my turn.
Okay, perfect. Wisp.
Okay, so I'm being held lovingly by our bugbear friend. So I'm gonna stay put and just continue to brace myself as I'm being used to help knock up.
Can I clarify something? Are we on top of the wall or are we lower? Like, are we clear of the collapsing part?
You're like maybe you're maybe a couple feet below it. So you're still kind of able to wedge, but you can almost feel like it's starting to give.
Right, so we do need to get up over that wall and out.
Yeah, you still need to get up because like kind of how I imagined it was there's like a pillar kind of braced up against the wall, and that's where Wisp is kind of wedged in between this pillar and the wall. So she's kind of holding. You're kind of like trying to like also wedge yourself. The pillars that on the wall are big enough to hold both of you. But yeah, you're definitely going to want to get over because once Nock gets there, there's going to be no room for all three of you.
Got it.
Cool. Fuck. What do we do? All
right. Perfect. It is the building's turn. Let me roll to see what happens. We're gonna roll a. I'm gonna roll a d6. On a 1 or 2, it targets Knock. On a 3 to 4, Wisp, and a 5 to 6, it'll be Vodder. Vodder, you're so unfortunate. I'm so sorry.
Worst luck. The building targets me.
The building targets you. You feel as you're kind of braced, like almost like behind Wisp, you feel the wall behind you give.
Oh no!
And you begin to tumble backwards off of the building. Go ahead and make another dexterity saving throw.
With this dex save, can I try to maintain my grasp on Wisp and the rope? Or is this...
I would say yes, but
Okay.
so I'll leave it up to you.
Mhm.
So how it will work is you can try to maintain your hold and roll with advantage.
Yeah.
But if you fail, you're gonna put Wisp in a tough spot as well. Or you can roll by yourself and not put
But then I leave Wisp up there with the rope by herself.
Right. So I'm gonna let you choose what you want to do here.
I think doing quick bugbear math in my head, like he knows that Wisp wouldn't be able to like get Knock up there on her own. You know?
Mhm.
I mean, her name's Wisp. Like it's right there in the name. You know? So I think he's going to try to maintain his grasp on her.
Okay.
And so I'll just do a straight roll.
So no, you're gonna maintain your. Oh, do you not want to roll?
Well, I think ideal
or...
is okay. So again, visual proximity is Knock on the rope by now.
Knock is not on the rope at the moment.
Okay,
he tripped and face planted, so he's prone on the ground at the moment.
Okay. I want to try to keep my grip on the rope.
Okay, perfect. So go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw with advantage.
With advantage or just okay?
With advantage, because you're getting that extra leverage from the rope and Wisp.
I mean swear word. Pardon me.
Input swear word.
Inputs bleep.
Okay.
9.
So all of a sudden,
Good Christian boy.
you feel like you get a good position, like on top of where the wall and the ceiling are collapsing. But as you put your weight down to try to help yourself, it gives, and you begin sliding on the exterior. You are now on the outside of the building, but you are falling, and you tug Wisp with you. Wisp is like on the bridge, like on the wall, like almost like still holding onto the rope, but like her legs are like dangling as you're holding onto her legs.
How far am I from the ground? Just curiosity.
Like 15, 20 feet.
Okay.
I'd say 15 feet because that's kind of the level we've been keeping at with where the building's collapsing. So I'm gonna keep to 15.
Yeah. Can't wait to see what I do.
Okay. Perfect. Kimura, you're seeing all this unfold.
I don't know. Your character work is pretty strong. You're a good role player. You make good choices.
Clutch player. I stopped bragging about your buns and thighs, all right? I'm sick of hearing it. You leave me and my 2 little kidney beans alone, all right?
Fen, I don't think we can chat saying they can't hear you.
True, that's absolutely true. Thank you very much. I was just saying that leg day is the only day.
I was just talking
Most
about kidney
important
beans for no reason now.
Yeah, just talking to yourself about kidney beans. Yeah, I would like to. Is there anything I can do to pull or assist, given that I can't necessarily see any breakages, but people are starting to lift up anyway?
Right. I mean, that's entirely up to you. Like I said, you can see Knock hanging, or not Knock, sorry, Vodder hanging off Kimura's feet on the exterior of the building that is collapsing. And he looks like he's just barely hanging on. And so Wisp is also in a tough spot because she's still holding onto the rope. And she's kind of like almost like splayed, like on the inside holding the rope and like being held, like where Vodder is like almost
Right.
bringing her down.
So it seems that my additional modifier in strength is not going to assist this situation. I'm not going to be able to lift them. Like, Kimura calls that tactically not going to happen. So, can I do another scope for a weak spot in the wall?
Yes, go ahead and make a perception check.
It's not great. 11, yeah.
It's one of those weeks.
It's one of those bad roll weeks.
The low
Yeah.
10s and 11s type of rolls. Indeed.
About that, I think I don't know what happened. Anyway, so let's just forget about it. You're still having a hard time seeing anything. There's just so much dust and whatnot. It's just really hard to like really pay attention to anything about except what's happening right in front of you with Vodder and Wisp that you can see.
Bugger. Given that structurally the building is very weak and crumbling anyway, I am actually just gonna make the call and yell down to Knock. Knock! Run at the nearest wall!
Knock pushes himself up off the floor in his embarrassment and anger.
You want me to what?
That wall is shit talking you! Show it who's boss!
What direction is this wall? Are we talking to the right over here? Which would be like there, or I think
I don't know which one do you point to?
is it? Yeah, is it? Well, come on, which way am I going? Am I going over
Right.
here?
Whatever, basically the closest wall to you. Just the closest wall.
Okay. All right. Is it my turn?
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay.
Soon.
Knock prepares to stop pushing himself off the ground.
Okay. Perfect. Vodder, it is your turn.
You said it's 15 feet down from where I am?
15 feet down, yeah.
He is going to try to use his arms to pull himself back up on top of the wall to help with the rope.
Okay, perfect. Go ahead and roll an athletics check.
Gladly. 10.
10. You're able to, like, grasp onto it, so you're able to move over, so you're not pulling Wisp down, but you're not able to like pull yourself entirely up. You're kind of like Sam
Baby
Fisher
Uh-huh.
hanging on
I
the
know
wall,
exactly
you know?
what
Yeah,
reference
there
that
you
is.
go.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Yep,
Absolutely. Edge crawling. Yep.
Yeah, man.
Hanging from the edge. Great. And I can't, but not enough to pull myself on top
Not
of the
enough
wall.
to pull yourself up, unfortunately.
In that case, do I still have an action in my bag for this turn, or would that have been it?
That would have been your action. You still have like, well, sorry, weird noises.
Wonderful.
I'm gonna say that's your action is to actually make a move to do that. So you still have
Okay.
like movement and a bonus action.
Can I use but I can't use my movement to climb up onto the wall because I failed that athletics. check.
Right.
Okay.
So you could like
I'm just
shimmy
gonna-
over. I mean,
No,
if you
I'm just gonna hang over there and dangle my feet. And...
yeah, your long bugbear arms, you know. So you're like
Uh-huh.
you're still like another 5 feet below Wisp, you know, because you got those long boy arms.
I do.
Okay. Perfect. Knock. Now it is your turn. So you can push yourself up. It will cost you half your movement. So you've got another 15 feet of movement.
Okay. So when can I reach? Can I reach here? I don't know why it's not allowing me to do that.
So you're right there. You wouldn't be able to reach there unless you dash, but that would be your movement and your action. You could run like right here,
Yeah.
to the edge of that wall, like just off to the left of that brazier or whatever.
Okay. I'm going to do just that then. I'm going to get up in like one fall motion of like standing up and I immediately start running. So you see my legs moving before my body does. And and Nock grabs onto his shoulders and he just full death throws right into the wall. And just throws his body into the wall. Just the entirety of his body.
Okay. I don't know what type of roll that would be. Athletics again? I don't know.
Or into roll. Into wall roll.
I would say it's probably an athletics again. So go ahead and roll. I'll let you choose. I will let you choose. You can either roll an athletics check or an attack roll with your body at the wall. Whichever one you think is more pertinent for you to do.
I'm gonna go with the athletics. I'm gonna go with the this is all in the legs and the body's doing the rest of the fucking work. Let's go.
Okay.
Athletics roll. Something, baby.
17. Okay, so you run and all of a sudden you can see like some of the wall begin to collapse in front of you and you just bust through it and create a like if it were a cartoon it would be like an outline of Nock like head
You're
first.
the Kool-Aid man.
Oh yeah!
And you blast through. I mean, you're gonna take a little bit of damage.
It's expected.
5 points of damage.
Just as my reaction, it'll be the first time I think I'm using this as well, and hopefully I'm using this correctly. But I'm going to use Stone's Endurance, which is as a reaction reduce damage dealt to you by 1d12. I can use it once.
Yeah, and so it doesn't even phase you as you just blast through, so you don't take any damage as you just blast through the wall. Nock and Wisp, you feel like Vaughter. I'm getting
Nock too.
Nock as well. You all feel like a little bit of a shudder as like a big section of the freaking wall all of a sudden is decimated.
Something's attacking the wall.
No kingdom is safe. Your bulwark is weak.
Nock the siege machine.
Yes.
Oh my god, perfect. And you are like you are clear for the moment of the falling debris. As Wisp, it is your turn. You're kind of like almost prone now, like across the wall as you are like trying to hold the rope, but you do see Nock just blast through the other side.
Okay, I'm going to, seeing what he's done, I'm going to very quickly take the rope that is not being used by him. I assume the 15-foot rope never got used by him, so I'm gonna like, you know, kind of like tie that up very quickly, and I'm gonna tie it, but I'm gonna tie it around my body so I don't lose it. I'm not gonna try and put it away, but I'm gonna keep it. I want to keep the rope, so I tie up the 15-foot rope. I'm gonna put it on my body. The 50-foot rope is what I'm assuming that Vaughter is like hanging onto on the opposite side of the wall. He like pulled the rope and kind of is like hanging there.
I think I'm on the same side as you.
Yeah.
You're on the same
next
side.
to you, and I'm hanging from the stonework. Right?
Okay, so you're not attached to me in the rope.
I have
at
no
all.
rope.
Okay, so what I'm going to do then is I'm going to tie up. I'm gonna do the thing with the rope. I have so much rope on me. And I'm gonna go over and I'm going to try and help up Vaughter as my action. I'm going to help get him up.
Okay, so you're gonna like, because he's a little bit like below you because his arms are so long. So you're gonna kind of like shimmy your way down, and
I'm gonna do whatever I can to help get him to where he needs to be. So if
I want to go down, but not fast.
Yeah, is it easier for him to fall than it is for me to try to pull him up and then climb? Or like what is the like, is there a platform right below him that he can land on and then climb back up?
Because we're already on the outside.
Yeah, you're on the exterior of the wall, so you've just got ground below you.
Okay. Well then I would rope. So much rope. I'm gonna yell down to Vaughter. I'm gonna yell down to Vaughter.
Rope.
Do you have a plan?
No. I need to get down. I don't want to fall down.
Okay. So then
That's my
I'm going to then keep the rope that's tied on me. I'm gonna take it back off and throw it on that side of the building and try to see if he can leverage it as I still I'm gonna shimmy myself down and find a place to throw him the rope so he can climb it down.
Okay, so you're gonna be on the interior of the building.
Yes, I'm still gonna be on the interior.
So you're gonna do like
leaving...
a balancing act thing.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to brace myself on the wall with my feet kind of on it, the rope around my waist, and I'm gonna let him shimmy down the rope. I'm gonna get him prepped to do that. So then I can just kind of launch my body off of it my next turn and hopefully not get ruined in this wreckage.
Okay.
But I'm saving myself for last. I want to help him get down. So I'm going to brace myself and throw the rope down so that he can grab it and shimmy his way down the 50-foot rope. So hopefully it should reach over and down the entire way.
Absolutely. Okay. Yeah, easy enough. Because you don't really have to move that much to get yourself in that position. Go ahead and because you do still have to hold yourself in a way because he hasn't been able to grab onto it yet.
I'm literally I'm willing to fight over the side of it, lay down almost completely and brace her feet against whatever is solid to get as much leverage because she knows he's a hefty bugbear.
Right.
So she's gonna try to get everything she can and to hold herself as far back as possible.
Okay. So I'll say you're able to move and use it almost takes your most of your movement to get back over to where that pillar is meeting the wall that is quickly crumbling, and so you're able to almost hold yourself against the pillar now and get the rope there. I think that's perfect. So
cool. And then I'll just yell down to him get yourself down. And
what?
And she throws. You just see all this rope come crashing at you, and it hits your face and then falls over your body and falls to the ground.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it is the building's turn.
Building rolls a 1.
Building casts the spell.
The building is collapsing very quickly. I guess at 3 rounds it's been much more than that, but I think for narrative purposes it makes more sense to just kind of see how you guys do. Wisp, as you're sitting there and bracing yourself, a big one more piece of stone falls and hits the pillar and breaks it. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Yeah, of course. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
Natural 20. I eat it. I eat the whole thing.
Yeah, you as you swing, because you got a lot of rope still tied around you, and so it's kind of holding you, but you're able to finger grasp some of the stone on the wall, and maybe even hold on to part of the building, the wall that's collapsing. So you're fine for now, but you're gonna, the building is quickly falling apart. Kimura, it is your turn.
I am literally just going to call out to them and just say stop screwing around and get through the hole.
As
there's no bossy.
It's literally the equivalent of a cap. Well, it's basically a captain going move, just get out of there. Get up, soldier. We are leaving. Right.
Let's go, maggot.
Get in the helicopter. Right. Yeah, and that's basically the gist of it. However, I do have rope, and I'm gonna unfurl it and drop it down to the floor as if I was a Chinook, and basically say, grab this. And then anyone that grabs it, I'm basically gonna start flying in the direction of the get out area, and it's basically just gonna start trying to at least tug people in the right direction.
Okay, perfect. Just curious, Kimura, how long do your boots last? Is there a time limit on how? Oh, okay. Yeah. This hasn't taken an hour. You're fine. Okay. So yeah, you're kind of like the insurance policy of rope right there, just in case. So, okay, Vaughter. All of a sudden, rope hits you in the face. Kimura yells at you. There's rope hanging some number of feet away from you. There's a lot of rope. What do you do?
Got plenty of rope. I don't think but none of it's tied to anything.
Not that you could. I mean, it's tied to 2 of your companions. One rope's tied to Wisp. The other's tied to Kimura.
Sure.
But you can't see Wisp at this point.
Right, but I know that the rope is it's the other end of it is around her.
You saw it around her. Yeah.
I'm gonna take that rope, and I am going to. I'm not going to like with my full weight like yank her like a yo-yo. You know, like I'm just picturing like you have 2 like strings and you pull on one side and then goes, right? I don't want to do that to her.
Okay.
I just want to kind of slow my descent by slide rappelling down, and if I pull her up to the top of the wall, that's okay. You know, but I'm not trying to like absolutely just free fall with it.
Right. Okay. Roll an acrobatics check.
Yeah. Great. Okay. Hey,
I would say with advantage.
Sweet.
Because you've got rope.
It's a 6. Which is better. I'm glad I had advantage because otherwise it would have been a 3.
So you slip down. And you're still kind of holding the rope, but it's like burning your hands as you fall. I'm trying to think of how exactly to determine the roll.
It's real bad. I think can I say I'll suggest that if this is burning my hands and is not going as well as I thought, I would let go and fall.
You would let go and fall. Okay. Okay. So it burns your hands. You're not used to it, and you let go, and so you'll take d6 points of damage, which is just 1.
That could have been worse.
As like maybe like as you're like you start pretty well, right? So you're kind of sliding and moving, and then all of a sudden you lose your grasp as part of the wall collapses, like a piece of stone moves, and then you fall and you're like freaking out, and it's just like it's like a foot, and then you just like kind of
stop and I freeze,
land on your bottom a little bit.
Oh, all right, it's not so bad.
Perfect. All right. So I'll say if you guys are on the outside, I could say you're clear of initiative if you're out. So like Vaughter, if you want to be out of initiative, you're good. Nock, you're good. Kimura, if you really want to, you can be good, and we can just deal with Wisp if you like, or because you guys are kind of clear of the building now. I'd say you'd be able to move a little bit.
What does deal with Wisp mean? That's a bit.
See if she survives.
Okay.
So, is there anything that you specifically wanted to do, Nock? You are clear of the collapsing.
And since it was the first one outside, is it out? Like I know that blue sky was what was able to be seen. What does Nock see outside as soon as he like kind of rolls from his? Or am I at a free fall? What was going on?
No, you're just like, kind of like barreling through, right? Because you are literally the Juggernaut.
Juggernaut, bitch. Yeah. Sorry.
And you continue running, and you kind of like stop, and you just see you do see Kimura some feet above you flying with rope. You see a smattering of buildings and whatnot, but it's kind of like there's so much going on because there's like crumbling and whatnot behind you. All you know is that you're safe for now.
Okay. All right. I'm just going to make sure I'm not like outside, like in the same place we were when we fell asleep or anything of that. So I'm going to make sure nothing's. I can't recognize type of deal, but I can wait until we hopefully the rest of our party makes it out of building collapse.
Okay. Perfect. Wisp. You all of a sudden, like, you're getting moved forward, and then all of a sudden the weight is gone.
Yeah.
And you're still kind of holding on, so you're good, but you do feel that weight.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume that he got down safely. I'm going to tie the rest of the rope back up like I had it, and I'm going to get up, stand, run, and just jump. And I am jumping off the top in hopes that I can try and acrobat, like somersault my way once I land, and try to get that, like, I don't know what you call it, that running leap to like jump and just kind of do the tumble at the end of it. So it's hopefully not going to hurt as bad as it normally would.
Okay, go ahead and roll an acrobatics check. Sorry.
Acrobatics.
As you kind of like.
16.
Okay. Yeah, it's you're able to kind of run off a couple, like jump off a couple pieces of stone, and they like quickly give away as you kind of push off them and give them like that last push that they need, and then jump. And everybody can see as Wisp, like out of like the dust, as the building finally, is on its last leg and is collapsing. She comes out of like the dust and the stone and lands and tumbles, and then like lands, like rolls onto her feet, and then just stops as like the building, like as you guys can just hear and see the building behind her just collapse, almost like you're like walking away from an explosion, but you're walking away from a collapsing building.
Still badass.
Looks cool.
Still badass. And as you guys are kind of there to regain your composure and figure out your next steps, we're gonna take our break there, because good God, you guys, this is why you plan puzzles with no way to solve it. You let the players figure it out. So
break shit until you get out.
Break it, and I mean that is a valid way to go about it. So we're gonna take like a 7 to 10 minute break. Everybody grab a drink, grab a snack, use the restroom, and we will see you back in a few minutes. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Thank you guys so much for all the subs and the hype train and the bits, you guys.
Yeah.
Kurt, thank you for the gifties. You guys are amazing. Thank you guys so much, by the way. But yes, we will see you very shortly.
Okay.
Drink. Get yourself drink.
Drink and be merry.
Food.
Bye. Alrighty, and welcome back, everybody. I hope you grab some drinks and some snacks and whatnot. Let us continue. You guys have escaped a collapsing building. As you sit there and take a deep breath and look at your surroundings, you guys see, you know, some like similar buildings that you had when you first entered the dream, these nicely kept buildings and whatnot. Somewhere off to the southwest, in the direction that Vodder, when you grabbed, you took the eye and whatnot, some information was revealed to you as far as a direction, and you almost feel drawn to that direction. You all see, as it kind of rises up onto a hill, you see a forest, like a picturesque forest, even forest.
And that is in the southwest direction that we are looking. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And creeping up from behind the trees, you see what looks like to be a very well-built, beautiful, and quite extensive, like large mansion or home.
Am I the only one who feels this pull?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, I guess Kimura would now too, because she's got the eye.
Where's the large mansion?
It's like in the trees in that forest. It's like
it's in the forest. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So it's a little wooded area. There's a mansion in the middle of it. Okay. So I look that way and I sort of say,
something tells me we need to go in that direction. We need to speak to the manager.
Boy, D&D Karen mode activated. All right.
I'm multi-classing as Karen.
Nox stands up and cleans the debris of the rock off of him and everything else. It says, "We're going into that house. Right there. I'm only agreeing to the fact that the doors are actually bigger than the other ones, so it's fine."
It's a Nox-sized house.
Is this the biggest? This is the thing that's standing out of all the other different structures. Does it look out of Does it look out of place?
Not too much. I mean, it definitely is the most luxurious looking building here, but all the other buildings around do look decently nice and well put together. But they're not nearly as large or anything like that as this one is.
All right.
It's obviously the VIP area.
I'm gonna put my hand on the shoulders of those who are around me, whoever I'm standing next to. Okay, which one of you guys is my big ass hands gonna go on your shoulder? Be like, all right.
All I know is I love not being inside of there. But we need to get the hell out of this place. I want to breathe some actual damn air, fresh air. Let's
I
move.
feel like we just had this conversation. But is everybody okay? I got pretty badly hurt.
I will take out my healing potion and toss it to Votter.
I drop it and it shatters on the ground. No, just kidding. Grab it.
Dang.
Thank you.
The
I don't
grass
need
didn't need it.
Okay, I'm gonna pound that healing potion. So 7 points of healing, which
Do we
puts me
wanna-
back to max perfectly.
We want to go ahead and take a rest right here. I don't think that big house is going anywhere. Or shall
I
we
don't
continue?
need a rest. Unless you do. I just want to find my way out of this and back to that horribly depressing city. God, I can't believe I
We
said that.
should.
All
we
I
should
know is
press
it's
on.
slowing us down. I agree. Let's move.
I
Wisp,
look-
what did you say?
Wisp will look back and make sure that Kimura looks okay, just to kind of get a consensus for the group. But then she'll turn back to Votter.
Mm-hmm.
Everything seems fine. Maybe we're good.
I think so. I'm ready.
Kimura! Kimura, I just picture Kimura, and Isla, of course, this is up to you. But I picture Kimura just sort of reclining in the middle of the air like a cartoon character from the Jetsons or something like that. Or like the Great Gazoo or whatever.
I
Just
wish she
little
was a little
feather
bit
movement.
more laid back for that, but I think in this instance she's definitely not. If she does, she'll slowly sink back to the ground, and as her feet touch the floor, it will go straight into a walk, as if
Very smooth.
yeah, and then walk over basically.
Do you feel the pull to that
Place, and I point towards the mansion.
Oh, she looks over the mansion for a moment. Something is there. And I feel something.
Mm-hmm. At least we can find some answers.
One
Let's
would
go.
hope.
And we set off. Oh, you're muted. GM.
Thank you. As you lot continue to move in that direction, Kimura, the voices in your head begin to fill your mind once again. I need you to roll another wisdom saving throw for me.
No.
Come on, eh?
18.
Okay. Just push them out of your mind for now. It's not important at the moment. And you continue on. As you guys begin walking, you do begin to notice something that you haven't yet. As the dome building that you collapsed disappears from view. I mean, it's collapsed, but the rubble and as it disappears from view, and you're kind of walking down these very well-paved cobble streets, you hear something that you haven't heard for some time. And it's voices. You also hear singing. And as you guys are continuing down, it does begin to get louder as you are, approaching.
Anybody else hear that?
Sound like children or singing of a choir? What type of voices are we singing? What are we hearing?
It's a mixture between, I'd say, like a more like a joyous singing, not necessarily a choir, but just like happy. It's not like a multitude of voices. It's a few, maybe
Knock answers, wisp.
I hear singing, a bunch of other voices, very similar to how Kimura was inside my head a few hours ago.
Yeah,
Knock kind of rubs his head.
I hear it too.
Is there any like aberrations or anything else like that that we can see? In the sense of like maybe like dancing feet or anything else, so I can knock, go ahead and kind of see if there's anything like moving around in the street or anything else like that. That could be just like ghosts or aberrations or sights, smoke, fog.
Make a perception check. You can't see anything just yet. It's a little bit up the road, just a little bit outside of your vision. But you can definitely, like I said, the voices are definitely growing. Like talking and cheer, like happy voices for sure. You can tell as you continue to get closer and closer.
Should we press on? Should we fear them? I mean, I don't. But do you?
I got nothing to fear. Absolutely nothing.
Knock proudly keeps on walking forward.
I see nothing to hold back.
We'll keep going.
The journey forth to the house.
Okay. And are you trying to avoid the voices, or are you just following? Because it seems like to be like semi along your path. It might be like off like a little bit, but you think you probably can avoid it if you wish.
I don't think we would have the wherewithal. Like Wisp would just kind of keep walking. Like if everyone's like, okay, sure, like she'd just keep walking thinking that they're just people having a celebration. She wouldn't care. I don't know about the rest of the group.
Nock would think with the fact that the voices have already been played in his head prior to, albeit there be Kimura's or otherwise his thoughts inside this realm, that it's just another one of those voice-like facades that are coming over him. So it's something that he can ignore.
So it's more or less keep pressing on. These things don't matter in my mind.
Okay.
Tatakai. Forward.
More.
Obviously going forward, I'm already hearing weird shit in my head anyway, so Kimura is just putting it down to this place being weird and everything being weird, and she's just kind of like, I'm not gonna let this deflect us from what we're here to do, which is get out of here. Yeah.
Okay. So you guys avoid the voices, not wanting to become distracted or something, waylaid on your journey, and so you continue. As you're walking and meandering and making your way towards this mansion, you sort of get lost for a time as you kind of look up at the sky and you see the sun. You hear, birds singing. The voices, the singing get louder for a time as you pass by on another street, you think, and soon disappear behind you. And before you know it, almost too soon it seems, you make your way and turn a corner around on the street, and you are met with immediately just pine trees. These, very picturesque, deciduous. I think it's deciduous. I don't know. I shouldn't say things I don't know. Pine trees and whatnot, evergreens, and a very nicely cobbled path kind of going up a hill with small lanterns that aren't lit right now because it is during the day. The smell hits you immediately of the pines and the evergreens, and it's definitely calming and it feels it's nice. It's really nice. And as you guys kind of are met at this driveway almost, and you can see somewhat behind, hidden within the trees, you can see the mansion some ways up. It is a decent walk to get up there.
Who lives there? Who do you think? Do you think it's him?
They wouldn't have gone ahead and put it in front of us if they didn't think that we needed to go there. Everything, every single thing they put in front of me. My chieftain, whatever the hell you lot saw. That giant mouth putty. Whatever its way this wants us to go, wherever the hell this hell wants us to go, it's telling us.
I wonder what it really looks like then.
Kimura
So
just
I don't
kind
have
of
any.
sights down towards the building and actually reloads her weapon. Doesn't really say much, just keeps sights down there.
Nock is gonna notice her loading her gun.
What are you worried about?
Running out of ammunition.
Do you think there's something up there?
I think so far we've been greeted with things that make us comfortable until they are not things that make us comfortable.
Well, that pea shooter goes ahead and saves us when we need it. We head into this mansion. Kinda like the real estate.
You know, if this was a pea shooter, I would have shot you in the leg by now, just for fun. Unfortunately, this has the tendency to blow people's legs off.
Oh. And I was over here thinking that you were gonna scratch an itch.
Nock is gonna go ahead and start walking forward.
It'll
Toward up the
blood
path,
and
up this,
scratch.
up the path.
So you guys continue up this path for some time. Like I said, it is quite a long walkway to get up there, and soon you are met with a a circular driveway as as it meets the house. You see a very beautiful home. It is very, very nice and whatnot. You do see two figures standing at the door, wearing almost like a very nice dress shirt, not like tux nice, but relatively nice. And they've got you do notice they do have daggers at their side, and they're kind of just standing posts, and they all see you as you walk up, and they kind of narrow their eyes as you approach. You see a very nice lawn. They're up a couple steps into kind of on the the porch of this very large home, and you see two large oak doors that are closed. Beautiful windows, some of them, stained glass and things like that. Very, very beautiful, very, very, extensive.
Kimura, those look like guards to you? I mean, you know what soldiers, how they stand and things.
Do they look like guards, Cole?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're guards.
How do we get past them?
Well, they're meant to be guarding. Either we talk our way through, or you kill them, or you distract them, or you
Why
prank
me?
them.
Why do I have to do it?
No, not you directly.
Oh.
It's a royal we.
Oh.
No, wait.
Royal.
I don't think I got the expression right.
It's close enough.
The point is,
I get what you meant.
there's more than one way to get around this.
These guys are close enough they could hear us in conversation, or enough for us to shout.
I mean, they've noticed us, right?
Yeah, they've definitely noticed you, and they're just kind of watching you.
Knock notices their furrowed brow and yells,
What's the matter? You're not used to having guests.
They kind of give a sidelong look. No, we're just not used to guests taking so long to approach the door. Is there something you wish? Is there something you require? Lord Walden's not accepting visitors at this time. Go back to your party and go back to your joys.
We need to talk to Lord Waldron about how we aren't happy.
They get a very...
Is there a suggestion box somewhere where we can put advice about the dream world that maybe could stand improvements? We're a group of concerned citizens.
Yeah, like a bigger axe. I want
Yeah.
a bigger axe.
They see your weapon and they bring their hands toward their daggers.
It's ceremonial. It's not for breaking walls.
I'm a cook. I cut meat.
Yes, he's a butcher.
Loin or shank.
But not human loins.
Kimura's literally standing there like,
I think we've got this.
yeah.
Wisp is just
Veronica.
nodding. Is just nodding her head,
"This is
like
with a
behind. Just
bunch of morons."
I just want more meat for my butchery, but there's not enough cows here.
This
And
is
not-
a
not
common
cons-
complaint.
They
He's got
look
this worried up-
very confused. If you are indeed concerned, as you put it, I must request that you escort yourselves to the domed temple where you might be able to find happiness once again if you will head down that way.
There was an accident at the Dome Temple. You didn't hear? It fell down. Very recently.
The confused look, the concerned, and almost like they're becoming agitated. You can tell you are saying things that do not make sense to them. They're like, and they say, citizens, return to your leisures, or we will have to find you an escort. Are you sure you are well?
Hold on a minute. Excuse me.
All right.
If this is a place of paradise, then why would you do something so displeasurable to us?
Knock is going to just cut his eyes down at Kimura.
Vadarta starts nodding in time with Wisp.
Because
I'm not
Very creepy.
escorting
sure
us away would make me very unhappy. You don't want me to be unhappy now, do you?
one of them whispers something to the other. Like he steps over and whispers like into his ear.
As they're doing this, I'm going to, while still nodding, I'm going to reach out and touch Kimura on the shoulder and cast guidance.
Okay.
To say, keep it up. It's working. Good job.
Okay, don't touch me again.
Okay, you have to cast this. Okay.
Like,
there's a moment where I think he whispers, and one of them quickly he doesn't run, but he quickly trots opens the door and makes his way into the door, and the other one's kind of steps in front of the door, and he hasn't drawn his dagger.
Is there an issue?
But then you hear, as you say this, you hear a bell ring somewhere off in the mansion. All of a sudden, you hear footsteps come around as you see maybe a dozen more guards come from around the mansion and begin to encroach on you. And they begin drawing their swords. And as you fear that there's going to be some sort of combat, you hear, no, from in your head around you, no, just let them in. Just please. I don't have time for this. Just let them in. And all of a sudden they immediately stow their weapons and almost in a weird way, almost like they have just lost and are listening to the voice. They part, and the doors of their own accord and open to you.
weird flex that, Waldron. Damn.
Right then, we proceed.
Yeah.
I will do that. I will do the same, and I will just be rejoicing as I'm shaking my hands. Like, yes, more meat, more meat, more meat.
We're gonna get it.
You sound like the meat door from Fable 2.
I hate that you said that. This is that, or it's a dwarf from Dragon Age with the enchantment. Enchantment?
Oh,
Enchantment!
Sandal! Explosion!
Fuck me. I love that guy.
Okay.
As you guys you enter a very nice foyer with very nice carpeted floors, beautiful paintings. You see a beautiful landscapes and whatnot. You have, there's all sorts of wonderful smells that meet you, fresh food, things like that. Just whatever, you smell your favorite meal, your favorite smells, things like that. All of that kind of just envelops you. As you guys are left to kind of sit there and wait, you see just a set of double doors off maybe 10 feet away from you. There's, another wing or door off to your left and your right. And then there's a set of stairs that go up. As you guys are kind of just sitting there, the door is closed behind you. And all of a sudden you hear what I would say skittering from up above you.
I look up.
Yeah, I look up. It's big bug. I swear to God, I've been looking for you forever.
You do not see a big bug. What you see is a creature, very alien, weird, very large legs and smaller arms as it runs on all fours. It's got grayish brown skin and almost these spikes that are coming off of its back. It's very out of place in this house. The biggest thing you notice is it's got a very narrow head, but it widens into one single large green eye. Some of you might recognize this as a Nothic. All of a sudden, it comes skirting down the stairs, and it looks at you, and with one eye, it just stops in front of you and looks at each one of you in turn, and says, Master, you must come with us. You must come with us through the door, please, please, please. And it just like doesn't wait for any acknowledgement and just like goes and like pushes open the doors in front of you and just like skitters on all fours like away from you.
Okay.
Who recognized this was a Nothic?
The players. I mean,
Yeah.
you could roll if you want.
Justin and Isla and Ray.
Yeah.
Okay, can I try and figure out what that is? Is that
Sure.
yeah?
Roll a nature check.
Nature.
That was a rat, right? That was a rat.
I don't think so. 'Cause
Nasty ass
it
rat.
had one eye.
16.
Okay. So yeah, you do recognize this as a Nothic. You know. Oh, sorry. I'll just give you some information. They're usually not too dangerous. They have to be pushed to like be aggressive and mean. And you know, if they do become aggressive, they are very difficult. Their eye is a very like their biggest weapon. You know that they can. They almost have like a different type of mind's eye where their eye can almost read thoughts and penetrate your being in a very dark way. So
Was that a Nothic?
What?
A Nothic?
No, it was something. It wasn't nothing.
No, that was a Nothic.
I don't know what that is.
Don't worry. Cole, how much would you surmise from my role would I know lore-wise about Nothics? Or am I getting into strange territories as a player who knows what they are?
I would say you know just as much that's on like their description in the monster manual.
Okay. I'm gonna.
I'd say that rolls.
I can't remember what's in the monster and what's on additionals. So I'm gonna kind of
They-
half
yeah.
dismiss and basically be like, don't worry.
Okay.
All of a sudden, you hear like the skittering on the carpeted floor again, and like around
coming.
the corner of the door.
Coming.
Comes. Are you coming?
Okay.
Like, I know we're in a bad situation, but Vader loves this guy, so he's following him in there.
Knock hasn't changed his face of like disgust and like weird, just like, yeah, I'm coming.
Magic users.
I'm following.
As you enter this new room, what you see is a beautifully set dining room. You see a dining table that is probably 30 feet long, with chairs lining the entirety of the table. You see, again, larger than life paintings adorning the walls, beautiful chandeliers hanging down. Behind, you see an arched back wall with entirely made of stained glass, depicting what looks to be exactly where you are, a forested area with a beautiful mansion, incredibly over the top and extensive. And at the very end of the table, sitting in a very high-backed oak chair, you see a young man. He's got blonde hair that kind of streaks down his face and kind of combs over to the side, clean shaven, very, very attractive. As you approach, you see the Nothic kind of run up to him and kind of like crawl on the back of the table and look and like just kind of like hops up on the table and just kind of sits there almost like a dog, like at the edge of the table. And you see this young man grab a piece of meat and toss it lazily on the floor, and this Nothic just goes and it just chases it and starts like just munching on it. And you see him as he closes his eyes, and as he throws, he's like, and he picks up his wine, like a very nice wine glass, and please just come in.
Okay.
Just Wipe your feet at the door. You smell. Oh, God, do you smell? What is it that you want? Come, I don't have time for this. Just get it over with. And he kind of like leans his head back and like sighs and is holding his glass and kind of like as he leans back, his goblet kind of like swings and like a little bit of wine pours out onto the carpeted floor. Oh God! And he just like takes a long sip of whatever he's drinking.
Like this man's style.
He's dressed in like very fine velvets of like a brilliant blue and bordered like with gold, like probably one of the most extravagant things you have ever seen.
Indeed.
I enter bowing like over and over, like way too much.
Nock is just stomping his feet over and over again, trying to get as much dirt as he can off.
Wisp looks at her bare feet and just like steps into the room despite like what he says.
Vodder, as you're kind of like walking and getting a kind of a view of this entire room, the one thing that you notice is behind this character, in like where the big stained glass window is, kind of inset into the wall of that, you see a large set of double doors, and it is something that you have seen before. When you were pulled in this direction, you did get kind of that view and that visage of a large set of double doors. The thing that sets these ones apart that you recognize is they are made of metal, like iron wrought metal set into the wall.
Got it.
What's trying to think? What do we call you? You're not from here. You're outsiders. That's right. That's where the smell's coming from. You smell like wet dogs, but come in.
It's my fur. I haven't bathed.
No, it's fine. It's just the smell of. Just come approach, please.
Like a hygiene.
No, this isn't Gene. This is Lord Waldron.
No, you know me. Cheers. Good.
I know the hell this man is.
Of course, yeah. We know you, don't we, Kimura? Of all the great things he did.
Nock wants to start
Sure.
walking on I'm guessing like when we enter into this room, there's a very large, great hall, if you would, and he's at the end of a very long table. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Nock is going to walk on the left side of the long table, but walk very slowly towards him while saying with his hands out,
I came here with the want to be the best butcher, to be able to give anyone the cuts that they needed, that they wanted. I strived to be the best. I cannot find enough cows.
You came all this way to ask me about getting a fresh cut of meat.
No, so I need more, Lord Waldron, I need more cows to go ahead and butcher so that I can feed as many people as I can in the city.
That is none of my concern. I cannot for any of that. Just go find it. I'm sure it's somewhere in this. I'm sure it's somewhere. Just go and find it. It's not that difficult.
Can I-
takes another?
Can I
He's looked a lot. He's dragged us all with him, and I'm tired of walking and looking for cows.
Can I I'm trying to read his demeanor. I'm trying to figure out if he is actually this tired and exasperated and exhausted, or if he's just an asshole.
Okay, give me an insight
Scales.
check.
I want to see if something specific is bothering him, or if he's just a 1%er.
Mouth breather.
How do I do this? Oh yeah, that's right. Insight check.
How strong is his chin?
Oh my god.
He's got a strong chin.
10.
He does look tired, annoyed. He's definitely drunk. He seems like he doesn't give a shit Like genuinely does not give a shit.
So it might be all of the above.
Right. And so he says, so you outsiders, you're not from my dream. I know, I can smell it on you. You smell terrible. So you come all this way to me to complain about cows. I'm so sorry, but I just can't fathom it. I'm baffled. Can't you ask somebody else? Can't you ask somebody where you come from? I'm sure there's a farmer or something out in that wretched place that you come from that you call home.
I came here and was told that I would find paradise. I would find exactly what I wanted. And I wanted to be the best butcher, and I was told to come to this place to get an answer.
Well, you go find some of the other people that live there. They party all day as well. They drink, they eat, they eat whatever the fuck they want. So why don't you go ask them? I have nothing to do with them. I'm tired of them. Everybody here just comes and complains to me, wanting something. Oh, Lord Walden, I need this. Oh, Lord Walden, I need that. I don't fucking care. I gave you this place. I gave you this dream. Go and fucking enjoy it. Why don't you?
But Knock stops like 75% of the length of the table because I mean this thing is a fucking mile. So I'm gonna stop at like 3/4 of the table and say,
You gave us this dream.
Yes,
you gave me lack of cows.
Well,
Why?
not you. You're not from here, are you? You smell. You're not from here. So, I mean, if you wish, then yes. But if you want to stay here, fine. But just don't come to me and complaining about this. Just go wish you had a cow, and I'm sure you'll find it eventually. I'm sure there's plenty around here.
While this is going on, can Wisp try and sneak past him and get behind him?
Sure. Go ahead and roll a stealth check.
I'm not gonna stab him.
not yet.
Just so everyone's aware. I'm not gonna try and like stab him.
Not yet.
Got a
Well, yeah,
10.
you don't have a knife. You have a staff. Oh, sorry.
You jab him.
I just want to catch him off guard, and I want to try to. So my whole point of being stealthy into doing this is I want to get behind him, and when he's caught off guard, I just want to slap him in his face to see if it's some ruse that he's putting on and catch him off guard. Like, I don't believe that it's this easy. Something is too easy, and it's freaking Wisp out. So she wants to see if catching him by surprise will make him lose his cool enough to like drop this fucking facade.
Dope slap this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, his eyes are closed. As you, I don't know how I said closed like that.
Close.
I'm too much into the yeah, he's sitting there and he's like, he's like holding his drink like up high and whatnot. And he's just kind of like leaning back. He's talking. He's like
Pulling an Alucard.
Yeah, he hasn't opened his eyes as he's like really been talking to you. So you're able to just walk up to him if you really want to.
Okay,
he's
yeah,
drunk.
sure, that's fine. I just want him to be caught off guard and by surprise. And I want to slap him upside the head.
Okay, like, and all of a sudden, like, wine glass goes flying, like almost like super exaggerated, like, ugh! And his eyes open for the first time. How dare you? I allow you to come into my home without invitation.
What's wrong with you?
And as you look and you can see his eyes are like deep emerald green, and as a slap, the Nothic comes running up and like kind of tries to put itself in between you and him, and kind of snarls at you a little bit.
I have no ill will towards your master, Nothic.
Everybody here just needs to calm down.
And I'm going to cast Calm Emotions. This is a charisma save. And this is
No, wait.
everybody in a 20-foot radius sphere around him. So him, the Nothic's not a
Nothic?
humanoid.
No,
so-
it's not. He's not a
no.
humanoid.
But it would also be Wisp. It would also be
I'm
Noct.
so not calm. I'm so not calm.
You can choose to fail if you want, but it is a DC 14 charisma saving throw.
I'll take it. I'll take the fail though. I think there's nothing preventing Wisp from like feeling the calm emotion anyways.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna
So
resist
she would
that.
willingly fail. Yeah.
I, on the other hand, say 1 cow is enough.
Did you say
He's right.
14?
Yes.
Wisdom.
Charisma.
Charisma. Charisma.
He does not seem to be affected by this.
No.
Just, I have to ask you again, why? And he kind of rubs his face like super like exaggerated and
Let us out.
let you out of where? The door's right there. You just go. Please leave me to my peace.
But you keep telling us we can leave if we want to.
Yes,
We can't. Nobody told us. We don't know how to leave this dream.
What? Leave the dream? Are you preposterous? Why? I just must ask, why would you want to leave this place? I created a paradise. I created something perfect coming from that dreadful fucking Vedranis. And I created this, and you want to leave? Then if you want to leave, why did you fucking come here in the first place?
So wait, you created this entire world?
Yes, for fuck's sake. Yes, I created this place for everybody in fucking Wreck and Roll. They all complained every fucking day. And like you can see, he's starting to get a little angry. He's like, I came here to help do some minor volunteer work to get me better and look better amongst the nobles. And so I created this once everything started going to shit.
I have a question.
Yes. What?
Avatar.
Sure.
You created this to stop the people complaining.
Not initially, but yes, that is a great benefit of it, isn't it?
But they didn't.
Yes, they did. The
It was
ones who
just-
don't go to the temple and they're not heard from again, I don't give a fuck about them.
Oh.
Is there like cutlery and stuff on the table?
There is like a very nice like dinner plate and whatnot, so yes.
I'm at the end of the table. I'm gonna grab a piece of cutlery, and then as I walk up towards him, I'm slowly scraping one of the pieces of cutlery all the way along the table towards him, very slowly.
Oh, dear God, women, why? It didn't cost me anything, but why?
Woman?
Uh-oh.
Why? I am so confused. If you could just give me some space and we can have a dignified conversation. I don't need you crowding me.
We are not crowding you. Believe me. Ask any citizens of your
Giant
town.
Goliath is crowding me. Jesus, he barely fit through the fucking door, didn't he?
Knock, if you wouldn't mind, take a step back.
Nock starts walking forward in between the little beats of the knife that is just scraping against the table. It's like as Nock starts walking directly towards the man, but he's not breaking eye contact with him either.
Okay.
You made this place.
How many times do I have to tell you? Yes, I created this place. This is my dream.
Then make the doors open so we can get out.
He wants to shout that across the room.
Okay. Before he responds, Kimura, as you're getting closer, the voices in your head begin getting louder and louder, and you can almost feel as if they're coming from behind Walden. Almost, and it's getting almost to the point where you can't really hear anything.
I stop
and you feel a presence and a power that is familiar to you. It feels very familiar, as in the thing that is in your pocket. This feeling is immeasurably more powerful than what you have in your pocket. And so he kind of responds to Nog at this point. He's like, you can't just leave. It's impossible. I just don't understand why you would want to leave.
As that happens, I slam the knife into the table and just go, enough!
And he kind of opens his eyes. Thank you.
If you created such a place and nobody can leave, or nobody wants to leave, can we leave or not?
No.
Can you leave?
No, and nor do I want to. I am perfectly content. Can't you see how fucking happy I am? Sitting in my chair, eating my food, and drinking my drink. I am happy.
Would you consider this a paradise?
Yes.
A perfect world created by clearly an imperfect being.
I can't tell you how bad I want a gif of that face.
You guys can make it happen.
That's the best. Nock wants to slam his fist into the table and hopefully send whatever is on the table, his fine dinner, his wine, and everything else, jettisoning across the fucking room. So he slams his fist onto the table. And goes,
A door works 2 different ways. You open it, you close it. It's not one way. You know it is, my friend. Death. How do you leave a place where you are supposed to be happy that gives you no type of solace?
Also, if you can't find a door, you can just run through a wall.
He said.
You did not enter this place through a door. Now, did you, Goliath? There is no fucking door. There is no fucking way out of this fucking dream, so you can go back out there with all those people and enjoy your fucking time for the rest of your fucking life.
How far away am I from Walden?
Maybe like 15 feet.
If I get any closer, the voices are just going to get worse, aren't they? Can I try and edge forward?
Sure.
As she does that, Vodder starts growling under his breath, and he says,
You sent those people to that temple where that thing made us think that it was a monster. You're not a god. You're not a creator of some sort of paradise. You're a slaver. You're a jailer. And he just, like, his voice gets, like, really big, and his, like, you see his, like, he doesn't rage as a trait of his person, but it's the closest thing that you've seen him get to that. And he's going to charge towards this guy and try to grab him around the neck.
Okay. As you begin making an aggressive move towards him, the Nothic climbs up onto the table and looks directly at you, Vodder. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
As the penetrating eye of this thing begins to...
Roll 20, you have been messing with me all day long. Just let you know
Right
you're
out?
on watch. Con save. A 10.
You take 10 points of necrotic damage as this knockback bores into your mind and into your body. At this point, Walden stands up, straightens his jacket, and he says, well, you have... And he almost is now completely sober. There is a definite change in his tone and in his voice. If it's a door that you fucking want, then it's a door you shall fucking get. I will make sure you go straight to the bottom of this fucking dream where it's a fucking nightmare. You will never leave this fucking place. You will only go down farther than... And he just like... And as you guys are sitting there, the walls begin to melt. The room begins to change. All of a sudden, the doors behind blast open, and there is a horrifying green glow that emanates and pierces your vision through this. Soon, you find yourself in a completely different space, a completely different room. You find yourselves in a circular chamber, adorned with treasures and riches and gold, chests, immeasurable treasures. You see 4 pillars. In the center, you see a large stone that looks black like obsidian. It looks a bit like graphite, and there are green veins that are glowing and encompassing this room in an eerie green glow. You see Lord Walden, but he is not alone. You see 4 identical-looking figures of Lord Walden in this room. And he looks at all of you and he says, I will send you to fucking pandemonium for this. And I'm going to leave it up to you guys. We will be rolling initiative, or we will be waiting till next week. We're about 15 minutes.
Next week.
Next week.
I
was about to say, I hate this fucking trend next week.
As you guys are lost in this room, this dream, this facade that has melted in front of you, we will leave it there till next week.
Dreamweaver, Mother Walden is the goddamn best.
Oh my goodness.
Wow, wee wah.
My head hurts.
Oh my god, my heart is in my butt.
I love Booty Heart, the best.
Serious condition.
Oh my god. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. You guys are amazing. Thank you everybody else as well for being here. Let's just go around the room. Tell us where we can find you, all that shit. Justin, let's start with you.
Cool. Hey, I'm Justin. I'm Doc Rimbo. He, him, or they, them is my pronouns. And thank you everyone in chat for hanging out. And I mean, let's be honest, y'all had a choice tonight of hanging out with us or seeing the Critical Role finale. So the fact that you're here is pretty great. And we're really grateful. And let's see, I'm Doc Rimbo on Twitter and on Twitch. I'm Doc Rimbo here every Thursday night for this campaign. Got other things in the work that we'll be excited to announce real soon. And other than that, I don't know how I'm going to win this fight because I just wasted my only second level spell slot that I had left on calm emotions.
We shall see. Thank you. Isla, where can we find you?
You can find me nowhere. No, you can find me. You can find me here every Thursday, obviously. You also find me on Sundays over at Cuvinet's channel. He's in the chat, so just click on his name, go to his channel, follow. Come see me play a hacker called Phoenix. Last week we almost crashed a boat into a dock and killed many people by accident. Yeah, things are getting spicy over there. So come and watch on Sundays. Cuvinet, drop a time in there as well because my head's failing me as well. And over on my own channel at Phoenix Over, where I'm gradually getting back into the role of streaming things. I'm going to be putting some more effort into that. I'll be streaming virtual roleplay stuff on Wild RP and playing some other bits like Overwatch and stuff like that, where I also play a hacker at the moment. Yes.
Obsession with hacking, yes.
Yeah,
Hack the world.
much like Nock, who has an obsession with a different kind of hacking. But yeah, other than that, that's where you can find me.
Indeed.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Derek, where can we find you?
You can find my eclectic brown ass on top of a mountain, atop Derek's mountain, in the name of on Twitter or on YouTube or on Twitch, where I stream usually about 5 to 6 days out of the week. I have been obsessed with Mech Warrior 5, just getting back to the nostalgia of my childhood. The game is great. It's been fantastic. So I've been a lot of that in Apex and a lot of RP. Wild RP has been very busy as of late. Walter Cross is being a very dubious douchebag. So overall, it has been quite the process. But other than that, an incredible amount of editing and everything else we've been going in and doing. The YouTube is going to be well populated very soon. I'm making a video called Birds about how birds are coming to take over the world.
I mean, you guys have fought crows here in Vedranis, so it's probably true.
Mm-hmm.
That is what I'm up to, though, and that's where you can find me. See you sooner
Amazing.
than later, and thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. We love you.
Hell yeah. Ray, where can we find you?
Hey, I'm Ray, or with a brick. You can find me everywhere on the interwebs by this name right here. I'm gonna get back to streaming. I promise. I've got stuff in the works. I've got cool things going on. My Wild RP days are full. So I'll be streaming that again sometime soon because shit is going down. But yeah, other than that, you can follow me on my socials to keep up with what I'm doing everywhere else in the world. But I'm just here right now on not Wednesdays, it's Thursday. It's Thursday. But thank you so much for being here. And as always, I'm super glad to be a part of this and sharing this with everyone out there. So yay, I can't wait till next week. Hopefully we beat this guy's ass because I hate him.
Fuck that guy.
Like this guy.
Fuck
This guy.
Lord Walden.
Yeah.
And I am Lacuna RP. You can find me at Lacuna RP everywhere. I've been streaming a little bit more. I streamed like once, like this month. I don't know. I also do Wild RP. I play Tavish Black, your lovely Scottish ranger. Sometimes a cult leader. Not Tavish, a different character, but sometimes former cult leader. Maybe.
Context.
New character arc for Tavish. I also stream here on InfiniteRP on Tuesdays going forward for Behind the Screen. It used to be Mondays. It is now on Tuesdays, where I prepare for this campaign. So if you want to see the behind the scenes, the maybe spoilers, if you want to find out what's going on with Calder while they're gone, you can come check it out because Calder's doing shit too. And we'll find out. I'm a little bit ahead of schedule now because I prepped this combat and we didn't quite get there. So we'll be prepping. We'll do some world building probably on Tuesday, but yes, Tuesday at 9:00 Eastern. So that will be where I am. Thank you everybody for hanging out. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the subs. Thank you for the bits. You guys are amazing. Make sure you follow IRP on Twitter, YouTube. If you did miss any part of this VOD, it will go up on Saturday, so you can watch that. All our subs up on YouTube, and yeah, hang out after the credits because we're going to be rating Wandering DM. Yee! Thank you guys so much. We appreciate you. We love you. Have a wonderful night.
Love you
Bye,
guys.
guys.
Nighty night. See you soon.